Well, hello, it's Andy Lockwood, and it's College Talk Tuesday because today is Tuesday. So, what I thought I would do today from an undisclosed, well, it's disclosed, I'm going to disclose it right now, the location of my office. I have a little whiteboard here, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit first about the financial aid formula, and then I'm going to talk to you about some tips on how to improve your eligibility for financial aid so you can get more money and you can comfortably afford the college that your son or daughter deserves to go to without having to eat mac and cheese every night or brown bag all your meals. Okay, so here is the actual financial aid formula. I'm going to write it down. Okay, COA means cost of attendance, EFC means expected or estimated family contribution, and need means how much need you show, you demonstrate to the financial aid office. So let's break down each of these terms because the formula is cost of attendance minus EFC equals your need. So cost of attendance means 1 year of college all in, meaning not just tuition. It could also mean it also includes room and board and fees and all that other type of stuff. So at a private college, the cost of attendance could be from the mid-50s to the mid-$70,000 a year mark. I know it's not exactly good news, but if there is good news here, it's that when a financial aid office goes to give you your award based on your eligibility, they are basing the formula off of the higher number, not the lower tuition only number. So let's plug in 60,000. Now, EFC, estimated family contribution, that term means how much the government expects you to be able to pay for 1 year of college. Here's a little spoiler alert, no one is ever happy about their EFC. I'm sorry. The name of the game is to try to lower your estimated family contribution legally and ethically, of course. So EFC is based on a number of factors, one of which is income. That's the most important factor. However, there are 77 or somewhere around 70 factors in addition to income. So what the government, the Department of Education says in effect is, okay, your income, we will penalize you roughly 22 to 47% of your gross number. And when I say income and gross, I mean not just your taxable income, but perhaps any pensions or untaxed income, child support, that's all factored in there. So it's roughly, just to use round numbers, maybe 25% of your income will be penalized. And then on top of that, it's there's savings, not necessarily how much you have saved, but where you have it saved. It's your age, it's your number of children in college at the same time, and a few other factors. What's not included, to the dismay of most people with common sense who live in middle class and upper middle class areas, is expenses. Expenses are not part of the formula. A lot of stuff is, but expenses, cost of living, debt, not included. So let's just use a round number here. Let's say the EFC for a family making around $130,000, $140,000 might be around $30,000. This is per year. This means that the government expects you to be able to pay for $30,000 per year for college. Again, this is just an example. Your EFC is definitely going to be different, I'm pretty sure. What's left over is your need. In this case, $30,000. So here's how it works in action. Cost of attendance is 60, EFC is 30, therefore you're showing $30,000 worth of financial need. Now, there are approximately 60 colleges that will cover 100% of your need. A lot of elite schools like Ivy and other competitive schools, but it's really almost 60 colleges, give or take. So what that means is that you'll pay your EFC of $30,000 and then any unmet need, in this case there's no unmet need, you're going to get an award from 60 colleges of $30,000, and that award will be generally a mixture of free money, grants, sometimes they call them scholarships, and loans, and that varies by school. If you're applying to a private college in general, somewhere around 80 to 90% of need is covered. So that, let's call it 90%. So if 90% of the need is covered by the school, the uncovered part is 10%, right? 90 minus 10, 100 minus 90. So what that means is $3,000 is uncovered. So you pay the uncovered need plus your EFC, so you'll pay $33,000. If this number seems far-fetched, by the way, I want to throw out a few stats for you. Number one, the average discount at a college is 55%. At a private college, private colleges are 55%. The average overall is 48.6%. So there's a lot of discounting going on. The second statistic is that most aid goes to families in the top quartile of income, meaning families in the top in six figures, people who make the most money in general. Unfortunately, for advocates for low-income families, the higher income people receive the lion's share of financial aid. So those are two statistics you should know about. My third one is that, I'll write this one down, 67% of all statistics are fabricated. I think that's really funny. I don't know about you. Okay, so this is not crazy to pay $33,000 at a $60,000 a year school. Now, state schools, state colleges, as opposed to private schools, they don't have much in the way of endowments, so their discounting is a lot less. On average, 55% is what you might get at a state school. That's a clue why in many cases, private colleges, even though they have a higher sticker price, their discounting may bring them to a place that's either similar to or less than your out-of-pocket at a state school. Now, let's see what happens if you can lower your estimated family contribution. I think you can figure this out. Let's say you can knock off $10,000 legally and ethically, not by lying. 10,000 bucks off. So now you've got your estimated family contribution down to 20. Now all of a sudden you're eligible for a whole lot more of financial aid. And again, that's going to be a mix of grants and scholarships. Pretty cool. So if you can figure out ways to lower your estimated family contribution, then you'll improve your eligibility and you'll be able to comfortably afford, or at least better afford, to send your kids to the schools that you're hoping to send them to. So the question you may be wondering, maybe asking yourself is, well, how do I lower my EFC? I'm going to talk to you really quickly about it, but I also want to point you to the URL, the website that I put in this post, which is financialaidwebcast.com. We are running a few webinars coming up on this stuff. So I only have a few more minutes on Facebook time, but you can certainly get more of a deep dive in the webcast, and you can also take a look at my book, How to Pay Wholesale for College, available on Amazon, and it makes a great gift idea. So let me go back to the board here. That must be kind of fun to watch. All right, I think you can see that. This is a oversimplification of estimated family contribution. Income for parents is penalized a lot less than income for students. But here's where it gets not only irritating, but also where you might see some opportunities, some loopholes. Assets for parents are penalized, meaning they'll boost, this like means, hey, it's good, but they'll boost. Remember, you want to lower EFC, but assets will boost your EFC in parents' names by 5% and change. In students' name, if the money's saved in your kid's name, like in a trust, like a UTMA or a custodial account or one of those types of things, then you are penalized, or your EFC is boosted by 20 or 25%. So in other words, if you have $100,000 saved in your kid's name, you're penalized $20,000 or $25,000 per year, as opposed to if you had the money saved in your own name, you'd be penalized at $5,000 or $5,640, depending on the school, per year. So this is one way to consider lowering or you should consider tactics to lower your EFC by taking money out of your kids' names. And again, I cover this in the webcast. Now, where do you put that money? That's a whole nother kettle of fish. There are 4 different exemptions on the financial aid form. In the financial aid form, is the 2 main ones that I see in my practice. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a college financial aid and college admissions consultant. The 2 types of investments that I see used the most out of the 4 are certain annuity products and certain cash value insurance products. Now, again, I'm not licensed to talk about this stuff or sell it, so I don't really have any agenda other than to tell you need to be very careful about not only the consequences of moving money around. There might be tax consequences, there might be penalties and so forth, but also you need to be very aware of how the products work that you are going to be investing in. So I cover that in my book, and I cover that in the financial aid webcast that I gave you. Let me see if there are any more. I was trying to see if there's any more comments. I know we're getting some. So whatever I don't get to right now, I will do my best to log into Facebook and respond to them later. But the bottom line is that there may be, this does not work for everyone, but there may be ways to improve your eligibility for need-based financial aid by moving money around from the bucket where it penalizes you into a better bucket that doesn't penalize you. In addition, if you can't qualify for need-based aid, let's say your income is too high or you're applying to schools that aren't that generous, like state schools, for example, don't despair, because there's actually more merit-based money out there in the market than there is need-based money. And it's billions in both cases, but there's more merit-based. And merit does not mean only money for super genius Doogie Howser type kids who have cured Zika or some other deadly disease over the summer. There's merit money out there for community service. Merit just means anything that is not considered need-based. And that's why there's more of it out there, because colleges are businesses and they're looking to bribe kids who are going to improve the college's respective standings with U.S. News and World Report and other rankings. So I'm going to wrap up here. I will, like I said, I'll try to answer your questions. And if you want more of a deep dive, register for our upcoming workshop. The URL is right here in this post. This is Andy Lockwood signing off from College Talk Tuesday. Thanks a lot for watching, and bye-bye.